Well, we got involved in ports years ago as an offshoot to our involvement in the mining industry and oil and gas. We specialize in providing communications for rugged, difficult, and changing environments, and that applies to ports. And so as we learned about ports, we thought, this is a good place to take our technology and give it a try. And we've been well received because our equipment is designed for environments that are extremely tough to operate in from a communications perspective. And that was our supposition. And as we learned about ports, it turned out to be the case. Well, the trend has been towards automation in the port industry. So my expectation for the next 25 years is an acceleration and completion of that trend. The need for automation is common across many, many heavy industries, and it's because of the improvement of technology, more powerful computers, more powerful sensors, lower cost of sensors, that is enabling automation to take place. And even right now, when you go into a port, it's kind of shocking as an outsider as to what's automated already and what's possible. This is only going to accelerate, and I would imagine that there will be hundreds of drones flying in the air. Even large containers may sprout wings and fly. I mean, it's unbelievable the rate of change and the way things are being adopted in this industry globally. And I expect it to continue. I expect it to accelerate, and I expect to be surprised. Well, the question about the industry, the maritime industry, being slow and resistant to change is a fascinating one because as a company, Rajant, it's only within the last 4 or 5 years that we've become involved in the industry, and frankly, we've found the opposite. The industry is working very, very diligently to add new capability all the time. So the reputation, if it's deserved, maybe historically that's the case, but in our experience, it's not the case. We're finding that the trend towards autonomy and embracing new types of security is one that's being adopted around the world. I think the perception of slowness is just normal. People have massive investments that they have to protect. They have businesses that operate 24/7. And it's dangerous to interrupt those businesses by taking imprudent risks. So that aside, I see the industry has changed dynamically in the last few years, and that's going to continue. I think one way to overcome the perception is do basic things like give people tours. I mean, I know my eyes have been opened just by showing up on ports and being shocked at the level of sophistication and the utility of new and advanced equipment. I'd say the reputation does not match the reality of what's on the ground. The question about Internet of Things and 5G and how it affects the port industry is really a reflection of a broader trend, which is IoT is a buzzword to capture the description of new types of sensors and low-cost sensors. LiDAR, radar, video, temperature sensors, vibration sensors, accelerometers. They're all becoming extraordinarily inexpensive. And it's that decline in cost that is making them attractive to the industry because it's relatively easy then to adopt them as the costs come down. 5G represents the need for vast amounts of communication capability in order to exploit those sensors that are now low cost. And as the maritime industry moves towards autonomy, it's necessary to exploit both communications and sensors in order to make autonomy possible. So the IoT and 5G really capture the trend that's going on, the need for communications and the need for low-cost sensor technology. So it's reflective of the drive for autonomy and robotics in the industry, and also a necessary underpinning for that drive. Wireless connectivity is critical to the progress of automation in the maritime industry. Literally everything is going to need to be connected to each other. So in order for that to happen, I mean, you can't string wires and cables around when things are moving. And though that's been tried, fiber optics on spools and stuff like that is actually used in some places today. But ultimately, because of how dynamic a port environment is and how much motion takes place endlessly between so many types of vehicles and storage devices and containers and ships, trucks, carts, all of those things are in motion. It's kind of really an interesting industrial ballet that takes place at a port. And it takes place in such a way that if you want those devices to work that ballet in a beautiful manner, they can't crash into each other. And to avoid disruption, to avoid collision, it's necessary that all devices and all people be in communication with each other. And out of necessity, that'll be wireless. In regards to what to prioritize from a connectivity perspective, it's boring stuff. It's reliability, it's ruggedness, it's security. There's a significant need to make sure as all the equipment in ports become connected and become reliant on communications technology, that the information across those networks, that it be trusted. Think about all the sensors that are being added to help drive robotics and autonomous activity. At the core of that is a system that depends on the trustworthiness of the data being expressed by those sensors. If that sensor data is not reliable, then autonomy will fail. So you need to emphasize security. You need to emphasize reliability in communications, and those things, if focused on, will make the dependence and utility of autonomy successful.